Good morning, everyone. The morning after the solo JK edition. Dion and Greg are still in Indiana. Believe they're going to be doing a Purdue Michigan recap today. Um, I invited every sleeper under the sun: Subi, Riley, Matt, Jay Hart, you name it. All busy. Cart and Hammer on the full day of content. So not really much we can do here. We got so many moving parts. So that leads to a JK ISO episode, which the chat has said that they'd rather me do it alone than to skip it. So here I am giving the people what they want. I imagine this will be a field day for Principia and Tominator. We will talk about UNC, Rick. Don't worry. But hey, don't deflect, because we got to talk about Purdue too. Mick Cronin needs some Tinker coffee. Mick Cronin needs like a lifetime supply, gigantic bags of Tinker coffee. I mean, that was the ejecting his own player to the post-game interview getting mad saying that the reporter raised their voice. Last night was a Mick masterclass. I felt like he did a little extra special stuff for his guy, Tom Izzo. Seth Dawkins says Purdue got no athleticism and no defenders. They stink. Yeah, I mean, look. Iowa Boy says the margin of error is low for this team, like Greg said. The effort was there, 12 more shots. I mean, look, here's the thing, man. And we can just call it what it is. Obviously, the second half was better for Purdue, much better. But watching that game, you can't honestly tell me that you did not think that game was just Michigan was better. And if they play 10 times, Purdue probably wins one, where they have a crazy one-off shooting night. But Michigan, they were just better. Like, TKR was fantastic last night. He was great. But, like, it's one of those things where they were just outmatched, man. Like, the other sides couldn't really do anything. Clough was kind of shut down. Jacobson didn't really get anything going off the bench. Omer tried to provide that little spark in the first half. He tried. But yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing, Rick. Like, I don't even think it's a slight on Purdue. I think it's more like Michigan's just that good. I mean, Purdue didn't turn the ball over. They only had 4 turnovers. They just didn't really hit shots. And I will say that, like, I do think the avenue, when you watch Michigan, there's like one way. There's one way that Michigan will lose in either the Big Ten or the NCAA tournament. And that problem, and this is where the Elliot Cadeau thing comes in. That issue will be turnovers. They had, I think, 12 or 14 last night. I don't remember the number. But that's going to be their Achilles heel if they do have one. I think talent-wise, I mean, they're balanced. You go look at their box scores every single time, and you think, like, one guy's popping up. It's usually, like, 5 dudes who have 10 to 13 points, and they're just solid, man. They just don't really have a whole lot of weaknesses. And it was just tough, man. Like, Michigan just looked like the best team in the nation. I don't even think it was anything Purdue really. Yeah, they probably could have hit some more shots. They did not shoot well. But, like, I mean, you kind of could tell by Paint's presser, like, that he kind of felt it was a lot more Michigan just simply was better than they were. Like, there wasn't really any excuse or reasoning he had for why things happened. He just kind of was like, Michigan's earned where they're at. Like, they're the best team in the nation for a reason. And, I think that was just a respect thing. Like, it was just Michigan's that good. And they are. They're just a really good team. That being said, like, you're obviously not taking moral victories if you're Purdue. You're the preseason number one team. Like, you've got expectations. But I will say that not laying down in that second half and kind of like fighting till the end. I mean, there were points in time like under the 3-minute mark where you would get it to 8 and it just wasn't enough. Let's get to the chat here. Rick said the things Braden and Fletcher did in key moments killed all the momentum. Yes, there was just key play after key play that was going wrong. Like, anytime that Purdue got momentum, it either, like, the next possession was either they got a stop on Michigan, but Michigan got the offensive rebound on like a tip out or whatever, and they would hit either a dagger 3 or they would get a layup. Or Purdue would get a stop, get the ball, come down, miss a shot, and they just couldn't ever capitalize. They couldn't stop. They couldn't string together multiple stop and scores. College B-ball gambler, I want to see Houston versus Michigan on a neutral. That would be ridiculously fun. First off, I actually think Houston, the more I watch it, I used to think Arizona, and I'm not just saying this because Arizona has lost recently. I think in terms of a contrast of styles, Houston's the best matchup for Michigan, besides maybe like a Florida. And I say that because, one, Sampson will figure something out. Two, I think Houston has the guards that won't fold under that Michigan pressure. They just have the athletic, quick, like Kingston is just a freak. And then you got like Sharp and Uzon who've just been there a million times. And then, like, obviously Houston's bigs, they're undersized compared to Michigan, but the way that Kelvin like makes those guys play the junkyard dog thing, I think it'll be super interesting. Boiler Painter said it best. Yeah, Axel and Merez make mistakes. Their athleticism can make up for it. We have no one like that. Yeah, that's pretty much the nail on the head. That's the biggest difference. Like, the athleticism just. And it's not even just a Purdue thing. Like, this is kind of Michigan's thing against everyone, and it's why they're the number one team. Like, they're freakishly athletic. They're huge. They have like 9 to 10 guys. I mean, the fact that they have McKinney and Kaysen off the bench, like, they're stacked, man. They're deep. They're stacked. The flagrant one was bullshit and changed the entire first. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that was a wild, wild call. I don't understand how they said Clough clamped his leg. I don't know. That was a weird one. He like literally got pushed into him, and I don't know what that was about. I mean, I don't think that decided the game, but that was definitely a swinging play that I didn't agree with. Purdue is the Elite 8 team at best. I still think that there is a sliver of hope that they could be a Final Four team if they get the right path. They have to get the right path. If they get the right path, they have a chance. But yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily feeling grim about Purdue after this, just because, like, if we think Michigan's the best team in the nation, which I do, then that's kind of what I like. The only reason I said I thought Purdue was going to win yesterday was because the vibes were just really weird. Like the Yaxel video thing, and then like just it felt like the media space was setting it up in a way that Michigan was going to lose just because that happens sometimes. But like, you know, I still think Purdue can make a Final Four if they get the right path for sure. I think Michigan will beat Duke but lose at Illinois. Michigan is going to lose one of those two games. I don't. The reason I agree with you. If Illinois gets healthy again, I could see that. Illinois does have the size to kind of counter it a little bit. They also have a really good, like they have the length with Stojakovic and Wagler. They have Boswell to annoy Cadeau. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, Duke, obviously Boozer, like they're going to have tons of guys to throw at Boozer. And Duke is really good. The concern with Duke is you don't beat Michigan without guard play. And, you know, I just don't trust Duke's guard play. Like, if Duke had just one, like, obviously Slim can get hot, but I just think they're a guard away. If they had the guard, I think they would be a fantastic matchup for Duke. Because I do agree, like Seth said, they play great defense. They have size on the perimeter. What I worry about is them wearing Boozer down, or he gets in foul trouble, or Gungba gets in foul trouble, and then it becomes a very interesting matchup. But I don't know, man. Boozer's so special. Like, this could be a game where he just like takes 30 and 10 to Yaxel or Merez or whoever, and just they find a way to win. Yeah, 11-point loss on a bad shooting night and a really good shooting night for the number one team's bench. Yeah, my only problem with that take, Rick, is that like I feel like the reason that the shooting performances were a lot different is because of the shots they were getting. Like, and I think the assist number tells you that, right? Like Michigan had 24 assists, Purdue had 12, which tells you Michigan was probably getting a lot better shots. I mean, that's the only thing. Honestly, Purple Fedora says, honestly, not too upset with how the game went. If Purdue plays like they did in the first half against Nebraska, they win. Kind of just depends on what Purdue decides to show up. Yeah, they definitely have a get up. Like, it feels like they either come out guns blazing, foot on the gas, or they kind of start slow and have to claw their way back. They definitely needed it. And the way it looked at the very, very beginning, like the first 4 minutes, I was like, oh man, like Purdue's coming out hot. And then it just kind of wore off quick. Yesterday, I was more worried about Mackey itself than anything Purdue, the basketball team, could do. That's fair. Seth says Duke beating Michigan. Yeah, I mean, they definitely could. I know it's crazy to say this. This is like a fun, I guess, like other test for Michigan. Just because I want to see what they do against an elite team at this point outside of the Big Ten. Like, I do think the Big Ten's really good, but also like it's a change up. Like, I do want to see them play like a Duke or a Houston or an Iowa State or like a team like that, just because it's good for college basketball. And also completely different play styles. Like, it's going to be very interesting. And I love that it's kind of like a month before the tournament, just a weird spot for a game. Hate that it's called Duel for the District, though. They got to stop with the name of these events. They're playing in DC. We don't need to call it anything. Yeah, I don't know. If I was to like bet on the game, I would definitely bet on Michigan, just because I think you can't bet against Michigan right now. But like, same problem as everyone else, besides maybe like a couple of teams. Duke is just going to have to be perfect. Now, I do think Shire's going to figure some stuff out. He's a great coach. I think Boozer's so special he could do it, man. Like it's going to be interesting. Needed a swig. Who's winning Major 2? You already know my answer, Rick. Come on now. Especially after choking in Major 1. All right. I guess now I have to address my North Carolina Tar Heels. I said it yesterday. Now, to be fair, when me and Riley made our predictions, didn't know Vesar was going to be out, but I did say yesterday that if Vesar was out, it was going to be bad. Man. No Caleb and no Vesar. They just had no creation, man. Like, it worked against Pitt because Pitt is literally like the worst ACC team I've seen since the Kenny Payne Louisville teams. So it worked. But look, man, that game without Vesar turned into exactly what State wanted it to be, which State wants a guard game. And because they don't really have the bigs. Like, Patrick says still probably had 10 million on the floor, needed the guard to step up. Yeah, I agree for sure. Like, the guards were abysmal. Luka didn't shoot enough. Seth didn't really do anything. Dixon looked like a freshman. Powell kind of little spark off the bench, but like Zayden High played fine. Like, he was the only big, so I mean, of course he gets the double-double. They just don't have the creation, man. Like, when Caleb and Vesar are not out there, and we can't do like the Vesar screen, and he either pops for the open three or he slips, or you get the Caleb and Henry pick and roll. Like, they just don't have any of that, and it's like, where do they go? And that's the concern, man. One of them's got to get back. Just wanted to see them compete. Yeah, they didn't compete, and it's aggravating that injuries aside, like it's I don't consider NC State a real rival, but it's at least like a pseudo rival, and they couldn't get up for the game, and they just laid down, man. And then and it's like, I get, oh, bro, they brought the belt to the press conference and Caleb didn't even play. That's cringy. Okay, but like, of course they're going to victory lap, man. It's State. They could beat us with 5 guys out and they're still going to victory lap. That's what they do. They beat us by 24. Like, couldn't hit a 3, couldn't hardly generate an open one. I think that everyone wants to like say that people are too harsh on Hubert. But when he does miss a guy or two, I think the flaws that he does have kind of are glaring. He's not really able to adjust and figure anything out. Like, he couldn't figure anything out with his guards to get any easy looks or to get anything going. Like, he just couldn't figure it out. And yes, obviously the players like can't turn the ball over like they did, can't miss shots like they did, but also there was just no ease to them getting into the offense. Everything looked tough. Everything looked forced. It was rough. It was a bad performance. And, as much as I want to be like, well, Henry and Caleb didn't play, they didn't. And yes, that obviously makes UNC better. But you can't get blown out like that, man. Like, if they go to State and lose by 10, it's like you said, Patrick, got to show fight. If they go to State and lose by 10 in a game that was at one point close, that's fine. But to just get absolutely belted wire to wire, especially after the way it started, I swear in my head, if Seth makes that dunk at the beginning of the game, they win just off the momentum of that dunk alone. This is supposed to be the core for next season. You want to see some fight. Yeah, that's, I agree. That's also why Mingo and Maxey committing is huge. And it's also why Hubert's going to have to hit the portal because the core is just not going to be good enough. I mean, hopefully you can convince Faithar to come back because this draft is so deep. Caleb gone, Seth gone, Jaron gone. Luka comes back and is better. Dixon gets better. They're gonna have to do some work. The arguing, they're arguing in the chat. I hate when my friends fight. They're talking about fouls. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of have the Carter Elliott take, if you will, when it comes to these. I know you're not really fighting, Rick. I'm just joking. I know you guys are talking it out. I'm honestly surprised my boy Principia isn't in here victory lapping on y'all a little more, man. He's been ruthless towards the Purdue fans. I actually agree with Carter Elliott in terms of the referees, man. Like, the refs just aren't good. Like Dion, if you want to for these last like 10 to 15, man, be my guest. I'm never going to deny you from coming on to your own show. Yeah, I agree with Carter Elliott on the ref stuff, man. All refs just stink. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter what level. Like, they're just not very good. Like, there's some NBA refs who are good when they want to be. It's a few college ones, but like a lot of them just aren't very good, man. They miss a lot of calls. They just, man, it's, and I understand it's human error, everything like that, but that's why you can't really blame it. There's some egregious stuff that's different, but yeah, I mean, it's the rules just they change too much. Like, they're never the lack of consistency with officials at all levels and in all conferences is my problem. Like, they can't decide if they want teams to play physical or not. But like I said, that I don't think officials had anything to do with, last night or anything like that. Like, I think Michigan just won the game. I know you guys aren't saying that like the officials are the reason that they lost, but I think it just happens, man. It's just the reality of the sport. Sorry, I didn't mean to summon him. My boy Principia was lurking though. He was waiting. Carr should retire and go work at Starbucks. I mean, he's honestly kind of living the retired life right now in Florida. So maybe that's in his cards. I'll be getting a brown sugar shaken espresso from Cart. We know the other team's better. Les Austin. Oh God, this is where it gets interesting, boys. This man is probably got the headache of absolute hell today.
What's up with my dogs?
I know that you and Greg have the headaches of hell today.
We had a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah. It's my boy Les Austin. I don't know if you missed the first like 10 to 12 minutes when I just straight up said Michigan was better than Purdue, but I don't know what you want me to say. They're just better, man. Like, I'm not blaming refs. I'm just saying that I think refs stink at all levels. Is that a crazy take, Dion? I just think the refs are not good.
Tominator said down 3 units. How's the audio sound, JK? Is it bad?
No, it's actually not.
Okay.
It's really not.
We also sent the recap over to you, too. I don't know if you got it.
Bet. Oh.
Or at least I think we did. I know we recorded it. What was the issue with the refs last night?
I think they were just kind of middle grounding because like I think it started with the flagrant one call, which I did think was crazy. I mean, I don't know, maybe you being in the arena saw something different. But I also said like that obviously didn't swing the game.
Yeah.
They made some calls. They just weren't really. They just, everyone misses calls like during games. I just thought I didn't really take away like bad officiating, and I don't think they were saying it was bad, but I think like Rick said they missed some calls, and I think Tom was like, okay, but they shot 20 free throws in the second half, whatever. They were just having some friendly convo.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I in the building, I didn't think the calls were that bad, if I'm being honest with you. The flagrant wasn't great, but like I didn't think it was like the worst call in the world. But yeah, I didn't really have any issue with the whistle in the arena, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe the flagrant being the one aside, but I thought the refs, were fine. It's nothing to write, like I said, nothing to write home about. But I didn't think they did anything incorrect. I mean, the building was rocking. I'll be honest with y'all. Jake, I said this to a lot of people yesterday as we were leaving. Chase Center vibes. Chase Center vibes. I was told it was Oracle.
Yeah.
Chase Center vibes. Nothing wrong with Chase. Chase is loud.
But it's not Oracle.
But it's not Oracle.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
But it was rocking. To be honest, my takeaway from the game, and I said in the recap, I just think Michigan's way too athletic, bro. Way too athletic.
Dude. That was literally. You guys were probably recording during the first part, but
yeah,
basically the first 12 minutes I was on here and I was saying like, look, I think this game just showed you like it's a game that if they play 10 times, Purdue maybe wins one on a one-off shooting night. Like Michigan they just had too much. Like it was just a game where like I didn't really take anything away. Like Purdue could have done this and this to win. Like Michigan just is the number one team in the nation. That's just all there is to it. Like they're just really freaking good. Like they
definitely didn't need your earplugs, by the way, Ulamog. It was rocking though. It was rocking. Like it was definitely rocking pregame. Shout out to the dude that kept holding the bathroom exit door open for me. That way I didn't have to wait in line too. Special. That was special. But yeah, no, it was definitely rocking. It was definitely rocking, but definitely didn't need earplugs. To be straight up honest, maybe the game looked different on TV. Never would have ever thought anyone had an issue with the refs in person.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of it right now, it's just chat weirdness. Like they were having a normal convo about the refs, and then you've got all the people in the chat just absolutely rage baiting, talking about like it was a blowout. Why are we nitpicking the refs? I mean,
did Dion or Greg participate in the FUV Axel chants? No, but Greg kept screaming classy every time. It was special.
Oh God. Greg's just so funny because like especially in Indy or wherever, he's just not going to be able to hide that he's a Michigan guy in the media section. And it's going to be absolute comedy. I can't wait for it.
He hit it well yesterday.
He's going to be like, oh, dude, honestly, what would be peak is if the section is that like they put sleepers at is behind the opposing student section of who Michigan's playing. That would be special.
I'm going to address what Pickle Rick Braden texted G about that. He didn't see him.
Yeah, he did. That's true. I just saw that comment. Greg sent me where Braden was like, dude, I didn't realize it was you. Didn't mean to ignore you. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. You already know, brother. One of the first things that a Purdue account tweeted after the game last night was about the pod. And I'm like, bro, there's no way we're blaming a podcast for that game.
Crazy.
Like that's just wild behavior.
Crazy. I got to run though, JK. I just want to pop on and say what's up, brother.
Love that. Hey, you better be back tomorrow for a crazy Mackey review for the people.
I will be. I do got to go talk to G though. So I thought my flight was 2:45 Pacific.
5:45 Eastern.
Yeah, we got a big problem.
Oh no!
Got a big problem.
No.
Got a big problem. Love you,
Time to
boys.
go hang out at Tinker.
Love you, boys. I'll see y'all later.
Oh man, that's top tier funny. Nah, tomorrow will be special. You guys will get the full rundown on everything they did. I don't know if it'll be possible because obviously, like, Greg's going to be back in content tomorrow, but in an ideal world, we get like Greg and Dion on here tomorrow to kind of recap their experience. If not, they're definitely gonna they'll probably make a short about it or something. Josh, Mick is both insufferable and a slobbering Izzo bootlicker. Last night was weird, man. All around. Like, I also want to say this before I get into the Mick thing. Man, I hope JT Toppin's all right, man. That was brutal. He was having a great game. I haven't honestly checked to see if there's any I haven't checked to see if there's any updates on it, but it looked like a season ender. I think I'm like let me see if I can figure out if they've given an update yet. Yeah, so probably a season-ending knee injury. Rick got hurt last night. It was bad. It looked like an ACL. I don't think it's been confirmed yet, Tom, but man, we got him and Richie Saunders in the same, like, it just sucks. Like, it just sucks, man. Like, I want to see as many good players as possible, and just so many season-ending injuries. It's awful. Yeah, F makes such a loser. Like, I understand that maybe people don't care as much because UCLA is not good, but like, if we're gonna get on like Hurley's ass for press conferences, we got to start having a conversation about Mick, man, because this is just getting mad at the reporter for asking about the opposing student section is just grade A. I'm mad that my team is losing. So if that's how you're going to be, then just don't do a press conference. It's that simple. Like, you don't have to act that way towards reporters. If you don't want to answer questions, if you're pissed off that you just lost, don't do a presser. Because if that's how you're going to react, like, that's going to get just as bad of a reaction from people as you not doing a presser would get. So, does UNC beat Syracuse? At Syracuse? I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting. And watching this team try to beat a zone, well, they don't play as much zone as they used to, but they're going to have to be able to shoot. And I just don't know if they can create open looks, to be honest. Hurley, yeah, no. See, that's my thing. I don't think that's why I don't understand how we like get on Hurley's ass and like people don't say anything about like people. You know, they clip Mick and they like laugh about it, but nobody's ever seriously like get this dude off the pressers. I don't know. Mick is a freaking interesting guy. I don't know who asked the question though. I know, and they didn't even like yell or raise their voice. They were just like, "What the heck?" It was a disaster. Yeah, I think that's about it. Only other thing I'll say is, oh man, just when I was getting back on the Pope propaganda, Kentucky loses to Georgia at home. Brutal. And I hate that because I thought that Pope had done a fantastic job of getting the best out of this Kentucky team, and it's just, I think the lack of talent and the injury stuff is starting to pile on and show. That being said, Ulamog, you're right. Uploads to start. Got 3 fresh recaps coming your way in about 7 minutes. It'll be Michigan State. It'll be Kentucky. It'll be Purdue, Michigan, of course, which is going to be a 1-box with Greg and Dion in the same room, which is always a special time. Appreciate everyone keeping me company today on the solo journey. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your week. Y'all know the vibes. Dion will be back tomorrow. Don't know what his plan is yet. It'll be a surprise for you guys. I appreciate everyone being in here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.